Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, I want to tell you how to create your company with the QuickBook. But first of all, what is company and why we need to create it with the QuickBook? Company is like an account that you have to open. Otherwise, you cannot record your transaction. You cannot provide reports or information. And of course, you cannot show the financial performance and position of your business. So we can say company is like a database where you open your account and finally and during there or after onward, you can record your transactions and do anything as you wish, any financial transaction. But how to create the company? Before to create the company file, first of all, let me tell you a few steps. When you open your QuickBook or run your QuickBook for the first time, you will see the following window. In this window, basically, you can see, in my case, you can see name of some companies, for example, Zakia University, for example, Ubaidullah Khan, and so on. These are the companies which I have already opened or created in this QuickBook, in this computer itself. But when you open for the first time, for you guys, it is totally blank. When it is blank, it means you have not created anything or no company is available in your QuickBook, right? And even in my case, see, it is mentioned no company is open. So there is no open company yet. But in order to open any company, so double click this one or just click it and press OK, open here. So your company will be open. If you have a password, then you can provide your password and so on. So this is one step. Following are the other options that you can open a QuickBook company, or even you can create a QuickBook company. So here, one option is the sample files. Open a sample files. Open a sample file. These are the sample companies. Sample companies which are created by the QuickBook company. I have not created this one. These are the samples which are created by the QuickBook company. They have created the following samples and you can use it as a practice, but you please do not use it for your own transaction. This is only for the purpose of, we can say, practice. You just check that. Suppose if you are a manufacturing company, you can open this one, collect some information from there, how they have maintained their book of accounts. Second way that you can open QuickBook company is open or restore an existing company. Open or restore an existing company means from here you can open those backups. If already you have opened a company and you have taken a backup for that one, so from here you can open those backups. It means if you lost your original company, so from here you can open your backup and you can use that one as your main company and so on. But it's still, as we don't have the backup, so we should not go or we cannot go for this option. But where is our option? Our option is basically here. Create a new company. From here, we can create a company from the scratch, or we can open a company for the first time. So this is our place. When you come to the QuickBook, directly go to this place if you have not created a company already, right? So let us click on this one. When you click on this one, you get basically four options. First option is Express Start. Express Start is basically recommended for the new users. New users who does not have or who do not have much information about the QuickBook, and they cannot answer several questions which will be asked by the QuickBook while creating a company. If you don't, so go for Express Start. So they just ask a few steps, just give a name and so on, then easily you can create your company, right? And later on you can bring some changes from inside the QuickBook. Next option is Detail Start. Here QuickBook basically asks several questions. For example, question regarding name of the company, question regarding customization of your organization, where, for example, you save your files, whether you are paying tax and so on. So later on you will see several questions will be asked. So you have to answer it properly. Next step or next option that you can create your company is create a new company file based on an existing one. See, if already you have a company with the QuickBook, for example, you have opened a company by the name of, we can say, Ahmad Limited. And in Ahmad Limited, for example, you have created several accounts, you have several transactions, you have several items and so on, as we will see later on. So everything is fine with Ahmad Limited. Later on, Mahmoud also asks you, please make one more company for me like yourself, right? So Mahmoud asked Ahmad to make same company like yourself. In this case, it does not require for Ahmad to go once again create everything from scratch, create accounts and so on. Here, Ahmad simply can create account or company for Mahmoud based on his own company. So when you click on this case, you will see, for example, so in this case, for example, account of Ubaidullah is already open. If I want to make, for example, account for Mr. Rahim, so everything will be same like Ubaidullah, right? Everything is same like Ubaidullah, but just name is different. Name can be for Mahmoud, name can be for Ali, name can be for Rahim, and so on. So what is the point here? Information is the same. Information will be the same, but just name will be different, right? So here is, it's also one of the options that you can create your company in the QuickBooks. Later on, inshallah, we'll practice this one. And the next option is convert data from Quicken or other accounting softwares. Data can be converted from the other accounting softwares, right? So some of those softwares which they have integration with the QuickBook company, you can convert those data from those softwares to this one. It means if you have already used some other softwares, so no need to create everything from scratch or no need to enter every transaction once again. You can just convert the data from those softwares to the QuickBook. So Express Start, Quick Start, convert from other softwares, make a company based on the existing company. And this one is very important. So first of all, we will go with this one, not this one. Although it is for the new users, but they ask a few questions. So when you go for detail start basically include this one as well. So I want to go for this one. When you go for this one, so there are several questions, which as I said before, easy step interview. So you have to complete the interview process in the interview progress, right? So it shows the progress of the interview, that how many questions are asked, whether it is answered or not. The first thing here is basically enter your company information. You have to provide information regarding your company. Let us say that my company is ABC, for example, Cardan University, right? This is the company name, and this is the legal name. Legal name and company name is the same, unless sometime, for example, sometime your company name is different in the license, but people call it in different name, right? So otherwise, company name and legal name might be the same. Next one is regarding the tax ID. If you have, for example, tax ID or TIN, tax identification number, please mention that one here, right? But in the case of the QuickBook, as this is basically based on United States, so it is 9-digit. You have to provide 9-digit number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Unless you provide 9-digit, it do not accept it. But remember, if you want to provide 9-digit. If you don't want to provide, it is not compulsory, right? See, any column which has this star, it means that is compulsory. So anyone which does not have, it is not compulsory. Except name of the company in this window, rest of the thing is not compulsory. But we will provide it in order to get some information out of it. So either provide 9-digit or do not provide. If you provide 8-digit, it does not accept and you cannot proceed for the next step. Rest, you can mention your information. For example, we can mention what I want to do, for example, right? So, and rest of the information. Suppose city is Kabul, for example, state, and also zip code, for example, it is mentioned, suppose 26,000. Country, Afghanistan is not available in this list, so please take other. Phone information, for example, mention some phone information. Let us give some mobile number here. See, let us say 0093. Mention this code as well. I don't know whether it's accepted or not. So provide a phone number, for example, 04434, and suppose this is your phone number, right? So mention the fax number as well. If you have email, for example, mention email as well. Yes, suppose we have ABC at, for example, ABC at Cardona at cardan.edu.af. For example, this is this one. If you have a website, please provide information regarding website as well, right? So this is the first step. Click next. When you click next, So they ask question regarding your industry. Select your industry. Select your industry means so you operate in which industry. So in which industry you operate. So please mention that one, right? Suppose if you're for example agriculture, click this one. If you're for example construction company, click this one. For example, if you're for example financial service, click this one. So all company may not be available here, but they have several similarities. So if the exact industry is not available here, but you can select the industry which is similar to your organization. For example, in my case, usually I take this one, general product based company, or otherwise general service company. So take this one, general product based company. For example, let me take this one. You can take anyone just for yourself. Next one is, how is your company organized? See, your selection will help the QuickBook create the correct account for your business entity and assign tax from line and assign tax form lines to those accounts. Basically, the purpose of this question is QuickBook want to understand that which type of organization you have. You have a sole proprietorship, you have a partnership, you have a joint stock companies, and so on. Why the QuickBook as this one? Because the way of paying tax for this organization or by this organization is different. Why? Because in the case of sole proprietorship and partnership, they are paying single tax, or tax will be charged on the owner of the organization. But in the case of corporations or joint stock companies, they are paying double tax. One tax is paid by the owner and one tax is paid by the corporation, right? So here QuickBook asks you that which one you follow or which one is your organization. So you select the organization, and based on that, QuickBook can provide or can manage your tax account, basically, that which type of tax to be charged on you, right? Let us say that, for example, these are the forms: sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability companies, corporation, S corporation. There, this is there is later variation between the main corporation and this corporation. So in the case of S corporation, tax will be passed to the shareholder. It means in this case there is a single taxation, but this is not available in our country. This sort of companies are available in the United States, right? So you can select anyone. For example, let us say in my case it is a partnership. So we have a partnership company, LLP, limited liability partnerships. So I have selected my company as a partnership, for example. Go for the next step. So when you go, so the next question is select the first month of your fiscal year, right? Select the first month of your fiscal year. Fiscal year means, for example, solemnly, right? Or accounting period. So what is the accounting period basically? But remember one thing, sometime accounting period might be a little bit different from the fiscal year. Fiscal year is basically announced by the government, but accounting period sometimes even can be different in the case of different organization. For example, in India, for example, fiscal year starts, for example, from 1st of April up to 31st of March of the next year. In the United States, for example, 1st of January up to end of December. It depends on the countries which fiscal year they follow. So check your country. So what is the first fiscal year? So select that one. Let us say, for example, in our country it is January, right? So select January. Next one, set up your administrative password. Give a password in order to protect your QuickBook, for example. For example, in my case, let us say it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also capital A, C, D, E, F, and G. For example, this is the password that I have provided. Also provide in the second option. Suppose this is the password I have provided. You can also select your own. This one, create your company file. Click on this one. So it asks you about the location where you want to save it, right? Suppose I want to save and the desktop, and suppose there's a file by the name of QuickBook file. Is there? Yeah, QuickBook file. Select that one, open it, and save in this one, right? So now it will create my company here, basically. So it may take a few seconds. So just wait for this one in order to create your company. So my company is created. So if you go back, so this, yeah, it is fine totally. One more step, select your January selected. Now here we can customize our QuickBook. Customize QuickBook for your business. Customize QuickBook for your business. It means based on our requirement, we can bring some changes. We can select something as yes, something as no, regarding the taxation, regarding the vendors management, and so on. So please, in order to understand it in a better way, click on this one. So what they ask. First question they ask is, what do you sell? You sell service, you sell product, or you sell both of them. So you can select anyone, depends on your business. If you sell service, only service. If you product, if you both, so let us say we sell both of them, right? Next question they ask is, do you charge sales tax? Sales tax is the tax which is charged by the seller on the buyer. And it is the amount of tax that you have to pay for the government. Of course, basically it is charged by the government, but who collected? Seller collected from the buyer, and they have to pay to the government. So here they ask that whether you charge sales tax on your product or not. So basically in most of the countries, of course they have, and it should be available in the while selling any product. So select yes. Next question they ask, do you want to create estimate in the QuickBook? Estimate means quotation or proposals. In most of the case, we need this one, yes, especially if the customer asks us, for example, please provide your quotation. So based on your quotation, they may decide whether to purchase from you or not. So please select yes. If you do not select it yes, later on this option will not be available in your QuickBook. So select it yes. Next one is tracking customer order in the QuickBook. Do you want to track down the order of the customers in the QuickBook? So do you want, for example, list of the order should be available in your QuickBook or not? Yes, why not? We want this one. Even the QuickBook has given this one as a recommended for your business, right? So this is required, so please take this one. Next question, using estimate in QuickBook. You know what is using a statement in the QuickBook? A statement is, what is a statement? A statement is basically the summary of the account that we have to provide for the customers in order to show the transaction between the customers and the organization. And it shows basically how many transactions happen during a particular period of time and how much amount is paid by the customer, how much amount is due, and so on, right? So you may have heard of this statement like a bank statement and so on. So the same way we can use in the QuickBooks. Do you want to use that one? Yes, why not? Even the QuickBook has given this one as a recommendation, right? So we want to use this statement. Using progress invoicing. Using progress invoicing is basically used in the case of projects or construction companies. Why? Because in the case of construction company, the contractor cannot collect the whole amount from contractee. So contractor collect the amount from contractee based on the completion of the job. Suppose 50% of job is over, so they will receive for 50. When 70 is over, they will receive for 70. So you cannot charge for the whole buildings once. So several times based on completion of the project, so you have to charge the customers. If this is so you have to use which type of invoicing? Progress invoicing that we will discuss later on. It is not recommended for my business. Why? Because my business is not a construction company. But I want to say yes, it should be available, so I may need it later on. So please, yes. Managing bill you owe. Managing bill means account payable. Do you want to manage your account payable? Yes, why not? We want to manage it. So do you want to know, for example, the purpose of this one is this one. Do you want to know how much is your account payable? Yes. How much you have to pay? Yes. To whom you have to pay? Yes. When you have to pay? Yes. Why not? We need this one. So we have to tell the QuickBook that we need the management of account payable. So already it is recommended. So please take yes. Tracking inventory in the QuickBook. Do you want to track down your inventory in a proper way? So do you want to, for example, manage your inventory in a better way? Yes. Why not? So please do for this one as well. Later on, we'll discuss about all these steps one by one. Tracking time in the QuickBook. Do you want QuickBook to manage your time? Yes, why not? Sometimes we charge customers based on time. Sometimes we pay employees based on time. How much time they spend in the business, we pay them, right? Sometimes we pay our vendors based on time. How much time they spend for our business. So there should be a system in the QuickBook to manage all those times, right? Why it is not recommended? Because I have taken a product company. If it is a service company, definitely they recommend yes. But I want to take it yes, basically, right? Next question, they ask, do you have employee? If you have employee in your business, say yes. If you don't have it, so please go no. These two options is also available under yes. If you have employee, then there are two options. We have W2 employee and we have, for example, 1099 contractors. The purpose of these two is basically these are belong to tax. The first one is if you it's available in our country as well. It means in our country, before to pay the net salary for the employee, first of all, we deduct their tax and we pay net amount for the employees. If you have like this employee, so please take this one. On the other case, if you have an employee like you're paying the whole amount or you're paying the gross amount for your employee and they're responsible to pay tax for the government, so then select this one. So in the first case, you deduct tax and you pay for the government. In this case, you do not deduct tax, you pay the whole amount, so they're responsible to pay for the government, right? So go for the next. Using QuickBook, okay, fine. Now select a date to start tracking your finance. So the date you select will be the starting date in the QuickBook. Basically, the previous date which I've mentioned as the January, that is the fiscal year. But here, the date which you have started with the QuickBook, whether you have started at the beginning of the year or whether you have started during the year. So it depends on you. If you have started at the beginning of the year, so beginning of this fiscal year can be my using of the QuickBook as well. Or otherwise, if you have used QuickBook today itself, so please provide information. But let us assume that we have started at the beginning of this year. So select this one, right? This one is basically a review income and expenses account. Based on the information which you have provided for the QuickBook, so QuickBook has provided or has prepared a chart of account for you. This is the chart of account that is provided by the QuickBook, right? A chart of account means list of the accounts which you may need in order to run your business. These are just provided by the QuickBook, but later on we can bring any changes. We can delete some of these accounts. We can, for example, add some more accounts. Several options are there. We will discuss inshallah, right? So see, it is this account which is not tagged. It means it will not be available in your company, but you can take it from here, right? You can take this one as well. For example, several other accounts. Business, no, this one. For example, let us say, for example, general insurance. We need, for example, health insurance. We need life insurance, this insurance. You may need it later on, right? So any account which you think that you may need in the future, but it is not selected by the QuickBooks, so you can select those things, for example, right? So these are the accounts, so please select all of this, right? Political contributions. Suppose I may need this one. If you think you need it, so please select. Otherwise, if you don't need it, so please just go once again back for restore recommendation. So when you press this one, so it will be unticked once again. Go for the next. So it says congratulations, right? It means your company is completed. So you can see the progress as well. Now it is at the end. Go to setup. See, the next step is basically get all the detail in the QuickBook desktop. So basically see the point here. There are three options. Add the people you do business with. Here you can add the list of all those peoples. List of, for example, employees, list of the customers, list of vendors, and so on. If already available, if you have a list which is already available, so you can add in the from here in the QuickBook. So you can import it from the Outlook, you can import it from Yahoo, from Gmail, or you can import it from Excel. But as I suggesting for you, this is not the right place to enter the name of all those people, right? Why? Because later on for this one, there is a specific chapter and a specific section that first of all, we have to create those peoples with the QuickBook. So if you, this option is basically if you're expert one. If you're expert already, you have used the QuickBook, so list is already available in the Excel and so on. So suppose list of 100 students are available or list of 100 customers are available. No need to enter each of them one by one, so you can enter all of them by one click, right? So, but I'm not recommending this one for you guys. Why? Because we are in the initial step of the QuickBook. The same like the others, add the product and service you sell. which type of product or service you sell, so you can add all those things, right? But once again, I'm not suggesting this thing for you. Later on, we will enter those products and so on. The same way like your bank account, so add your bank account. So I'm not going to add anything here, so I'm directly go for starting the QuickBook. So if you start the QuickBook, so for the first time you see these things, right? So this is called the home page of the QuickBook. And this is called, of course, the title bar. See, name of my company is mentioned, ABC Cardon, and of course, it is mentioned. It mentioned the version of the QuickBook as well. And this is called the menu bar. Several menus are available in the QuickBook, right? Files, edit, and so on. So we will discuss each of them, inshallah, one by one, right? And this section is called the icon bar, right? So when you click on any icon, so it shows that one basically, right? So for example, if you click on the home page, it shows the home page. If you click on my company, it shows my company. If you click on anything, basically it shows that one. So it is just the shortcut way, icon bar. But you can bring some changes later on. You will see, for example, you can make it at the top. You can bring this one at the top as well. Or for example, you can bring it at the left once again back here, or otherwise you can hide it as well, right? Do not show anywhere. So otherwise, in top is better. So usually we'll select at the top, right? And also, for example, if you have several several window open with the QuickBook, so you can click on this one. It shows that, for example, how many windows are open. For example, this one, if company you need, for example, homepage and so on. So this was the first step, that how to create your company with the QuickBook, right? So let me close this one. One more point is here. Let me open once again the window. And this is basically the home page, and home page is basically divided into five parts. The first part is regarding your vendors. Vendors means from whom you purchase. The shortcut is available regarding these vendors. Second part is regarding your customer. This part is regarding your customer. Manage your customer. Next part is regarding your employees. You can manage your employees. Next part is regarding your company, like chart of account and so on. And the last part is regarding your banking. We will explain each of them one by one, right? There are two more options. Do more with the QuickBook. These are the other options. These are other services which you can receive from the QuickBook. And backup status. You can take the backup of your QuickBook and see backup now. If already you have taken the backup, you can open from there, right? So in this way, you can create your company. But if suppose you have already created your company and later on, or in this stage, which you need, which when you receive in this stage, you find that, for example, there are some problems. I made some mistakes. In order to edit your company, go in the company file and come to my company, right? So go in the pencil section, so you can find out the contact information. These are the contact information which you have already provided. If you think that, for example, some part is wrong, so you can correct this one. Legal information, name of this one and address, so on. If you think it is wrong, you can edit it. Then company information, right, regarding tax ID and so on, if it is available. Then report, for example, we mentioned in the January. If you think that it is some other months, you can bring it change. Payroll information, payroll tax form information, the person who provide the payroll, who make the payroll. Later on, we'll discuss it. Who make the payroll? Please mention this one, position of that person, and the title, right? And also you can attach some files regarding the company creation. For example, might be license and so on, right? So this was the first video regarding the creation of the QuickBook. So this was rest of the things, inshallah, will be discussed in the next video.